Hey guys, so this video is for our 2nd through 4th grade team for November week 2. So I forgot my memory verse card again this week and I'm subbing today. So got a little 4th grade action going on. So I'm going to make these videos while I'm subbing. So all month long, our life app is honor, letting someone know you see how valuable they really are. And our memory verse for the month is love one another deeply, honor others more than yourselves. Romans 12:10. So last week to learn about honor, we learned the story of David and Goliath, and our bottom line was honor others by giving them a chance. This week, our story is about David and Jonathan, and our bottom line is honor others by putting them first. So Jonathan was King Saul's son, and he knew that David was next in line to be king and not him, but they were still best friends. And even when Jonathan's dad started hating David, Jonathan still remained faithful and remained his friend, and he put David first. So it's a pretty cool story about friendship this week. So let's see, heading over to our leader guide, we'd love for you to join us at 8:20 and 10:20 in the garage door room for coffee and donuts and prayer. And then just make sure that you are in your small group areas by 8:30 and 10:30 ready to go. When kids roll in at 8:40 and 10:40, just make it personal. Make sure you know everybody's name. Use this time to learn something new about your kids. Help first-time guests to feel really welcomed. And then after at least 2 kids have arrived, assign one of them a task from the list below. And he or she will describe step by step how to complete the task. And when the child is finished with his explanation, ask the kids who are listening to name the very first step. So, making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So tell someone, okay, how do you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? And then at the end, ask the kids who are listening what was the first step, or brushing your teeth or tying your shoes. So you're going to give each kid a different one of those tasks, and they're going to explain it to the group. Then when service starts at 9 and 11, your intro activity, you're going to have a bunch of different, bunch of strips of paper and some sticky tack, which who doesn't love sticky tack? It's just great. You're going to give each kid a strip of paper and a pencil or a pen or marker or whatever, and you're going to ask the kids to write down one characteristic of a good friend, like kind, loyal, trustworthy, good listener, whatever they want. And one at a time, you're going to have the kids put some sticky tack on the back of their piece of paper and stick it to the wall. And you're going to ask, what is the most important quality to find in a friend? And kids are going to debate about which one is the most important. Let kids take turns moving one paper strip to the top at a time until they have the statements in order of importance. So you're going to kind of line them up on your wall using the sticky tack. And then discuss the top 3 characteristics of a good friend based on their top 3 choices. And you're going to say, this is a great list of ways to be a good friend. We could all be a good friend to others by doing these things. So let's head to large group, and we're going to hear about 2 friends who understood how to honor one another. So then you'll head to large group. You will have a live host this week, but you will be watching the video for the story. When you get back from large group, you're going to do a review activity called shooting arrows. This is going to be fun. Boy, people, I kind of apologize in advance, but they're going to like it. So you're going to invite kids to each find a partner, and then you're going to give each kid a straw, and you're going to give each pair of kids one Q-tip. And then you're going to use some tape, or you can just use the squares on the floor, to mark a starting line and a finish line that are 15 feet apart. So those squares in our rooms are like 2 feet, maybe 2.5 feet. I think they're 2 feet big. And pairs are going to go one at a time in this game, and you're going to ask one of the review questions below and allow anybody to answer it. And once it's answered, the first pair will play. So one kid's going to stand at the starting line with their other partner about 2 feet in front of her, and the partner at the starting line will place the Q-tip in her straw and blow it through the straw, shooting the Q-tip over their partner's head toward the finish line. Then partners switch spots. The first shooter stands where the Q-tip landed, and her partner will pick up the Q-tip, place it in her own straw, and shoot it over the partner's head. And then play just continues until they get their Q-tip past the finish line. So if a player blows through the straw and the Q-tip goes out of bounds, then they pick it up and try again, and you'll just keep going with the next review question, and then the next pair of players goes until everyone has had a chance to shoot their Q-tip. And this game will make a lot more sense after you hear the story on Sunday, because in the story, Jonathan gives his bow and arrow to David, and they kind of work together as friends. So then just make sure to collect all the supplies when you're done with the game so that you don't have kids shooting arrows. And then there's all of your review questions to play the game. Super fun game. The boys are going to love it. So the review questions continue on the second page. And then you'll close it down by saying, that was a super fun game, but man, this is a crazy story. Would you think that Jonathan would be jealous of David like his father was, because King Saul knew that David was going to be the next king? So he was kind of jealous. And Jonathan should have been the next king, but he wasn't jealous of David. After all, as the king's son, you would assume that Jonathan would become the next king. But what did Jonathan do instead? Yes, he chose to honor his friend by putting him first. So why do you think Jonathan did this? Talk about a good friend. Jonathan put David first and tried to protect him even when it put his own life in danger. Jonathan understood how to honor others by putting them first. And honor for us won't be so crazy. We won't have to dodge spears or shoot arrows into a field as a warning signal, but we will have to put our own wants and needs aside in order to think of others first. So then make it personal. Think about, tell your small group about a time when a friend chose to put you first. Maybe they did something kind for you and it was inconvenient for them. And how did that make you feel when they put you first? Then for the memory verse review, all you're going to need is your Bible. So you're going to look up and review Romans 12:10. You're going to repeat the verse out loud several times. Maybe make up some hand motions to it. And then you're going to line up the kids one in front of the other, and you're going to play a relay game with the words of the verse. So the first kid in line will say the first word of the verse, which is love, and then they'll run to the back of the line. And the second kid says the next word in the verse, which is one, and so on. And after they say the word, they'll run to the back. And kids will continue to say a word of the verse and run to the back of the line until, as a group, they've recited the entire verse and the reference. So Romans 12:10. And then you're going to play again, but you're going to start at the back of the line. So kids will say one word of the verse and then run to the front of the line, and so on until they've said the whole verse. So you're just going to say, woo, that was fun. Great job, everybody. I love this verse because it reminds us first to love each other deeply. So is it possible to really love someone when you always put yourself first? Would you feel loved by your friend if they always put themselves first? No way. So this week, let's remember to honor others more than ourselves, and let's choose to honor others by putting them first. So then you've got some optional small group discussion questions. How did Jonathan put David's needs ahead of his own? How can we be like Jonathan and honor our friends by putting them first? When is it hard to honor someone by putting them first? And what can you do when it's hard to put someone's needs ahead of your own? So then to close down in prayer, you don't need anything. Just ask the kids to pray silently that God would help them to honor others by putting them first this week. And then you can just close down in prayer. So that's it for this week, guys. Pretty easy week, but super fun. I really love that review game. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. The kids are going to enjoy it. Super applicable lesson just because kids play with their friends all the time, and we naturally want to be selfish and pick ourselves first. So I think it's a great lesson to teach kids to honor others by putting them first. So thank you guys so much for serving and being small group leaders. You all are just seriously the most amazing people in the world. I love you all so much, and I'll see you on Sunday.